Hi, my name is Dr. Brian Curtice, and we're going to talk about the 2021 Chulai Championship, Round 1, where we have an unbelievable matchup. We're talking about two heavyweights. The number 3 seed Tyrannotitan versus the number 6 seed Torvosaurus. Wow, Tyrannotitan is looking massive, absolutely jacked. Torvosaurus is looking solid, but there's a noticeable size advantage on the size of Tyrannotitan. Well, they, as have we seen so far in the tournament, chose the Roman Coliseum style, straight up Donnybrook. So let's see how they go. There they are. They're backing up. We're waiting for the up. There it is. The hadrosaur bleeding indicates it is time to start. And the two immediately burst out of the gate. Torvosaurus means savage, cruel, or wild lizard. You take your pick. Is absolutely living up to its name. Bursting straight forward, gambling on its old school megalosaurid power to win the day. Tyrannotitan, though, just is a behemoth. And it is stumbling forward. Not even stumbling, it's rumbling forward, straight ahead. This looks like a giant train wreck about to happen. The two crash chest to chest, pushing back powerful legs of Torvosaurus. Tyrannotitan digging in. The hands are clawing. And I'll tell you, these Torvosaurus hand claws are cutting up Tyrannotitan. Tyrannotitan's claws are no joke, but Torvosaurus' next level power of its hand claws are chopping up the chest. But Tyrannotitan is undeterred. It has a strategy, and it is slowly pushing Torvosaurus back, chomping, biting, snipping, waiting for that big opening. And every single time it makes a connection, it removes hundreds of pounds of flesh. Torvosaurus is really doing some damage. Its teeth, the Torvosaurus tooth is absolutely massive. It is puncturing through, but that carcharodontosaurid blade, the 50 plus blades are just cleaving flesh. Neither will back down. Torvosaurus straight up with Tyrannotitan, but it is clear, like we've seen all battles long, nothing beats displacement. The extra weight and power of Tyrannotitan and the blood loss on the side of Torvosaurus. Torvosaurus is beginning to fade. Torvosaurus will not give up. Tyrannotitan gets a hold of Torvosaurus' head and begins crushing into its skull, and Torvosaurus falls limp. Tyrannotitan, champion of this round, advances. Now there's a little controversy here. When we looked at the voting, Tyrannotitan had its name obscured and it said Tyranno, and we believe many people were voting thinking it was Tyrannosaurus. But what can you do? It's the way the game's played sometimes. It breaks your way. Tyrannotitan advances with a 2-to-1 ratio on voting. Congratulations, Tyrannotitan. See you in the next round. Welcome to the 2021 Chulai Championships. We're still in round 1, and we've got even more exciting action. Today, we're going to go to the post-fight interview with none other than Aiden Rouse. Aiden is a paleontologist and dinosaur expert overall in the field and in the lab. Super lucky to have him with us. And we're talking today about Tyrannotitan, the number 3 seed against the number 6 seed Torvosaurus. So we watched the fight. Unfortunately for all of the hardcore heavyweight fans who wanted Torvosaurus to move forward, Tyrannotitan pretty much put a solid beating on him, showing that weight matters. No replacement for displacement if you're an old drag racer. Aiden, what'd you think?
So, of course, down hard Torvosaurus fan, so I'm also kind of sad to see a much more primitive megalosaurid kind of be tossed around for no reason, in my opinion. But like you said earlier, we're seeing this a lot with this heavyweight class group of dinosaurs. I mean, we just had Giganotosaurus take down Saurophaganax. Seems to be a trend going on there. So now we have another much more primitive Allosauroid in the form of a carcharodontosaurid taking down another much larger megalosaurid, basically. And ironically enough, they're both South America. They're both South American animals. But when you're looking at carcharodontosaurids, from an evolutionary standpoint, from what I see, is that carcharodontosaurs are just really much more evolved allosaurs. Allosaurs were so successful during the late Jurassic. This is kind of basically a much more robust, much more evolved allosaur. And we see lots of them. We have them in South America. We have carcharodontosaurs in North Africa. We have lots of them. So there's a reason why they're so successful. So I do got to give credit to Tyrannotitan.
Yeah, I was hoping my bracket is blown because I had Torvosaurus going deep into the playoffs, and now it's over for me. Unless I pick the winner, I'm pretty much mathematically eliminated. And I was counting on its large, massive hand claws and its powerful bite. But Tyrannotitan's got an easy 3,000 pounds on it, a little bit longer, and it's got that flesh snipping, just gigantic, hundreds of pounds of flesh removed in a single chomp. Balanced power and speed versus that savage, wild fury that is Torvosaurus. So I'm sad. My bracket's blown. But as you said, Giganotosaurus advantage, carcharodontosaurids are currently moving through the lineup. I'm excited to see what happens later on in the playoffs, but we still have a lot of great fights left.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what carcharodontosaurus does.
Yeah, up against the number 2 Spinosaurus from last year, the finalist. It's anyone's bet. Now, with the public voting, it also brings in that star power. And I'd say that Tyrannotitan may have gotten the benefit of a little bit of steroidal enhancement. Tyrannotitan's placement on the screen, the word Tyrannotitan was obscured, and unfortunately, I wrote Tyranno to vote versus Torvo. And I'm wondering how many people thought they voted for Tyrannosaurus Rex and really were voting for Tyrannotitan. And I say I wonder that because in Facebook, where it wasn't so obscured, our buddy Torvosaurus actually won his Facebook bracket, won it convincingly, 25% advanced. However, in the overall scheme of the world, there were a lot more folks on the Instagram page that voted for Tyrannotitan, where it was obscured and it said Tyranno. I'm thinking there was a little bit of malfeasance here and that there should be some kind of appeal. But it's not Tyrannotitan's fault. He didn't write it. Last year, Mapusaurus was kicked out of the playoffs this year because of bringing in his gang to help pack attack. Tyrannotitan, I think, stumbled in as well, but he got jobbed in his mind last year by Allosaur slashing his eye in the very first shot. So a little bit of, come around karmic. I don't know what you call it, but it does always put an asterisk next to this victory in my head.
Absolutely. And what you said with Mapusaurus is that these two animals are actually very little known in terms of their fossils. I mean, Tyrannotitan is only known from, one specimen, if I'm not mistaken?
Correct.
So animals are still very little known. These could be isolated hunters. So these carcharodontosaurs can't bring in their friends anymore. You're standing off one-on-one. Last year with Mapusaurus, that's cheating. You can't bring in your friends to a fight. It's all about pure power of an individual, not here, let's hunt as a group. So these are two very well examples of that. So again, I as much as I love Torvosaurus, I do gotta give lots of credit to Tyrannotitan.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I got that asterisk, I think if you replayed this one in a clearly delineated who's who voting, I think Tyrannotitan wins probably 8 out of 10 times, maybe more. If nothing else, he has a really cool name that people can gravitate towards. And in real life, I think that Tyrannotitan wins more than half the time. It's just, you can't replace mass. And Tyrannotitan is a skull that is nearly as large as T-Rex.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a carcharodontosaurid. I mean, you look at the teeth amongst these animals, they don't change at all. You're looking at all your carcharodontosaurs across the line. All the tooth design is so, just like that. They're so blade-like. It's, again, like I said earlier, it's a much more evolved allosauroid animal. And you could definitely tell by looking at the teeth that similar morphology still carries on millions and millions of years later, going into the Cretaceous in two different families, basically. But they all relate back to that very awesome nature of allosaurids. But I mean, again, when you're looking at the teeth of Torvosaurus, I mean, this is nearly T-Rex sized.
Absolutely.
So I do see some foul play going on in Tyrannotitan, but as I digress.
Well, we'll see what happens in the next round. We've still got 2 more rounds of heavyweights in this particular round. So I'm super excited. Aiden, thank you so much. I know we're going to have you back giving guest commentary. We're so lucky to have you. So
awesome.
Thank you. Looking forward to having you again soon.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you kindly. Adios.